Hello there. I'm Dr. Tom Potisk, and this is my story. Everybody's got a story. How did you get here, and what are you doing? Well, my story starts when I'm about 8 years old, and it involves my grandfather. Here he is. His name was Bill. This was a wonderful grandfather, let me tell you. I hope everybody has at least one excellent grandparent that they're able to enjoy as they're growing up. Bill was a wonderful man, very caring, very loving, very generous. He would say, "Tommy, let's go fishing." And he would say, "Tommy, here's a screwdriver. We got to go out in the garage and fix the lawnmower." I remember him setting a clock in front of me on the table, and he'd say, "Tommy, let's take this apart and figure out how it works." This was a great guy, spent a lot of time with me. Unfortunately, in his later years, he got very ill. So I have this memory, an unpleasant one, but I think it influenced my life. I was about 8 years old, and I was sitting at the kitchen table of my grandparents' home. My grandfather, Bill, was standing at the kitchen counter next to the table. That was the only way he could be comfortable. He was standing at the counter with a pile of towels that he could lean on because his elbows were so sore. His whole body was in pain from head to toe, all of his arms and legs. He'd been to many doctors. They all told him about the same thing, that he had gout. That's what I'd hear my grandfather and grandmother talk about, is his gout. And they would give him lots of prescriptions for that gout. When he was standing at that kitchen counter, part of my memory is that he had a big accumulation of the prescription medications, pills and potions and lotions that the doctors had given him to give him relief for his illness. And I don't know if it helped him much, probably not very much at all, because I don't remember him being comfortable by any means. I remember him being very uncomfortable in the later part of his life. So I remember him, as he was standing there, pointing at me. And with tears in his eyes, he says, "Tommy, make sure you find a way to help people like me." And I says, "Okay." So time went on, and I think that influenced me. He passed away shortly thereafter in a lot of agony. And I found myself in college, and I was following a pre-med program, was going to be a medical doctor, thinking that maybe that's where some of the answers are. But I felt very uncomfortable. I know medicine helps lots of people, and it can even save lives. And God bless any of you that work in the medical field, doctors, nurses, support staff. I truly believe you all mean very well. But I had a feeling there must be something else that can help people, and I kept looking. So when I was about 20, in this pre-med program that I was following, I was sitting at the kitchen table of my parents' home, and I was studying for an organic chemistry test. That big, thick organic chemistry book was open in front of me, and I was studying for a test the next day. Well, the television was on in the other room, and I heard a ticking sound, the sound of a ticking clock, and that was the sound that starts the beginning of that popular news program called 60 Minutes. Maybe some of you have heard it. Maybe it's still on now even, I'm not sure. But I heard that ticking clock, and then I heard the host, Morley Safer, come on, and he said, "Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you tired of going to many doctors and either not getting relief or prescriptions that might just be covering your symptoms?" He says, "Well, there's a new doctor on the block. These are chiropractors." And that's what our show is about tonight. So that got my attention because honestly, I was 20 years old and I had never heard the word chiropractor. I didn't know that existed. Nobody in my family had ever gone to chiropractors. I certainly never went to chiropractors, and I'm quite certain my grandfather never went to a chiropractor. So I closed that organic chemistry book and I went and sat in the living room and I listened to that program. And by the end of that program, I knew that that is what I was supposed to do, to become a chiropractor, that there were answers there for people. So fast forward to a point where I'm in chiropractic college. The story still isn't over yet. I'm a student in chiropractic college, and all of a sudden I hear about this incredible chiropractor who's got so much success that patients are coming to see him not only from his town, not only from his state, not only from around the country, but many people coming from around the world to see this chiropractor. And he was so busy, he had to build a hotel and a landing strip so people could fly in to see him. I mean, the stories were practically unbelievable about this incredible chiropractor. And my thought was, I got to find out what's going on over there. Well, it turned out that this chiropractor was Clarence Gonstead in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. Unfortunately, by that time, Clarence had already passed away. He died in 1978. I graduated from chiropractic school in 1984, so I missed him. But thankfully, there was a chiropractor near the school I was attending, Palmer College, named Larry Troxel, and he learned from Gonstead. He was a student of Dr. Gonstead, and he was using the Gonstead method, which Dr. Gonstead developed, and he was teaching it to students. So I went over there and I became a Troxel intern. I was very blessed to become a Troxel intern. And I completed that program and went on to become a Gonstead chiropractor and practiced that way for many decades. Fast forward to today, I find myself, I'm the president of the C.S. Gonstead Chiropractic Foundation. This is a nonprofit foundation that now owns and operates the Gonstead Clinic in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. And myself and many others are working very hard to preserve this place because of its importance and because of the help it can give to people. Not only are we preserving it because we want it to help lots of people, but it's important for the chiropractic profession because Gonstead seemed to do things better than anybody else. That was the secret of his success. He was getting better results than anybody else, and that's why people were coming to him from all four corners of the globe, and his practice was booming to a point where it was overflowing. The Gonstead method is still taught at the Gonstead Clinic, and it's still done at the Gonstead Clinic. And all of us are working very hard to preserve that and keep that operating, not only for the benefit of people like my grandfather might have gotten help. Excuse me, there's the right side. Oh, there's the right way up. That's my grandfather, Bill. But it's important for the chiropractic profession because we all need to work harder at doing a better job at what we do. Even more importantly, the main reason that we're taking care of this place and keeping it open is for humanity. This is what my grandfather was talking about. This is what I think would have helped him and can help many other people that are suffering. I know that medicine helps people. I know that they save lives, and that's important too. But I urge you to get yourself a Gonstead chiropractor on your family's healthcare team. You can come to the Gonstead Clinic and get care there, or you can find a Gonstead-trained chiropractor at www.gonstead.com. There's a directory there with chiropractors trained that are all around the country and all around the world. But you're welcome to visit the Gonstead Clinic at any time. Come for a tour or come and be a patient. And you can find the Gonstead Clinic simply by searching chiropractor Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, and you'll find the Gonstead Clinic. We are working very hard to keep this place operating because we know it serves an important purpose for people, and it's a way to help people like my grandfather, Bill. Thanks for listening to my story.